Inter Milan 1, Arsenal nil. Arsenal have now lost 3 games since the last international break, with losing to Bournemouth, Newcastle, and now Inter Milan. The cannon is firing blanks. It is not firing at all. And after 5 years of trusting the process and spending over 700 million, our tactics and gameplay is now close to Stoke City Tony Pulis with long balls and crosses. The game was pathetic to watch and embarrassing result at the end of the game. Let's break down the game and see how it went. Now, if you look at the Champions League table, it's not all doom and gloom. Like Arsenal still have a couple of games left. If they win those games, which I think they should be in a comfortable position. They currently sit on 12th. But what is embarrassing to see is Liverpool, with the least amount of money spent this summer, are sitting at the top with winning all of their games. Now they will play Real Madrid, so that might be a different story. But I particularly think that in the given run of forms, Liverpool might have an edge. Now I don't know what has happened to Arsenal. We didn't look comfortable in the first 15-20 minutes of the game with Inter Milan just rolling over us. Dumfries had a shot that hit the crossbar, and all of the good plays that was coming, it was coming from Inter Milan. We gradually stepped into the game, but not in the way that I or maybe any other Arsenal fan would have wanted. It was a Stoke City's performance. We were only shooting long balls for Kai Havertz or for our wingers, or the ball was going to our wingers and they were putting the crosses in. And there was one incident that I felt where Arsenal would have been maybe denied a goal or and of course a penalty, which was this incident where the cross comes in, and I think the keeper, he does get a bit of the ball, but he does get Merino absolutely in a very bad way. He hits his head, and in any given shape or form, or maybe in any given day, this would have been given a penalty. VAR does look into it, but it doesn't consider it, and they say game on, and they proceed with the corner kick, which was something surprising for me to see, where I particularly felt that this should have been a penalty. And we have seen these kind of decisions where the keeper comes out, knocks out the player, it goes, and it is a penalty for sure. So, but let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What do you feel? Was it a penalty, or was the decision a correct decision where it was just moved and it was given as a corner kick? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Our Stoke City tactics were not helping at all. Inter Milan is an Italian team, a beast in that way, and Italian teams are known for their defending. What we were doing is, without Odegaard, we were not able to put in any through balls, any cutting passes that could impact them centrally. The only tactic that we had was either we hit a long ball or we give the ball wide to our wingers who will then cross in for Merino or Havertz to come in. Trossard was absolutely horrible in that number 10 position. I don't know why he was even there. He was not doing anything for the whole game that he was there. This was an incident where, on the stroke of halftime, now the ball comes in and the player tries to kick the ball. It then gets deflected and it hits Mikel Merino's hand. Now the referee is very quick to give a spot kick for this incident. The VAR does get involved. They do check it, but the decision is the same as the on-field referee decision, which is a penalty. Now, if you see, his hand is in a very maybe not in the correct position. So we have seen them given in the past, even though it's a bit harsh, but I think it is a penalty. But if you give this a penalty, the one on your left where the keeper knocks Mikel Merino out should also be a penalty from my side. I think if you give the other one, you have to give this one. There is no way where you can overturn the first one and then give the next one. And I think this is where the VAR and the referee would have just maybe done Arsenal a bit of injustice. So I think this is something that I was not very comfortable with, where you could have given both the penalties and I would have been completely fine with it. But you don't give the first one and then you give, it is in an awkward position, but it's still very close to the ball. You can see the player, he is trying to kick it, and Mikel Merino is just next to it, just behind him. So it hitting him in that close proximity, I think all of these things could have been taken into a call. But I do agree where you give that, that's okay. But why don't then you don't give this one, the first incident? So do let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What do you think about this? Was Arsenal being done by the VAR? And do you think the Mikel Merino's one is a penalty or not? Now, Arsenal do go 1-0 down just before the halftime from the penalty kick. And in the second half, Arsenal do start a bit on the aggressive side, but the tactics were still the same, where it was just about crosses, just about long balls. I cannot tell you that it, the Inter Milan team and defenders, they looked so comfortable in dealing with all the long balls and crosses that we were putting in inside their 18-yard box, and everything they dealt with comfortably. I don't remember any instance where Inter Milan defenders, they looked a bit shaky or they were unhappy with the crosses that were coming in. They were letting the white players have the ball and cross the ball in. Kai Havertz, he tried a couple of incidents. Mikel Merino, he tried a couple of moves, but it was not working. And at halftime, Mikel Merino was substituted for Gabriel Jesus, which the second half where Gabriel Jesus stepped in, he didn't pull up any trees either. He had a bang average performance. He didn't impact the game. He didn't create even one single chance that I could have thought like, okay, oh my God, Gabriel Jesus is having an impact in this game. He didn't do anything. It was just one chance that Kai Havertz took where he hit in a curler for the far post, and it was a very good save from Sommer that he made. And I think this was the only save that Arsenal did Inter Milan make. I think all the other ones were very comfortable for Inter Milan. We didn't threaten their goal at all. We were putting in crosses. We were having more of the ball, doing more of the passes, but it was just with zero penetration. We were not having any clue of what we were doing, just putting in the ball in the 18-yard box and hoping that somebody would head it or the deflectant would get it back to an Arsenal pin and they will hit it back. So for me, it was not working at all. Now, this was a horrible incident towards the end of the game where Havertz had a head injury and he started bleeding out. He was then substituted, but I think it. I hope Havertz is doing well. Later on, Adidas said that it required him some stitches, and it seems that he is going to be fine for the weekend. But let's see. I really hope that he is doing well. It looked horrible when the time that this happened. The referee was quick to call on the doctors who came in and helped Kai Havertz to stop the bleeding, and then he was substituted. Now, with this game, Inter Milan had 7 shots, 1 shot on target with a scored that was from the spot kick, 0 corners, and on the other hand, our Tony Pulis and Stoke City game plan, we had a total of 21 shots with 4 shots on target. Corners were 13, and most of these, if not all of these, were just plain crosses or balls coming from the corner or long balls. That's it. There was not even a single through, not even a single line breaking pass that Arsenal played. I think it was horrible to watch. Lately, I have started questioning SofaScore rating. For me, Leandro Trossard, Kai Havertz, I think I'll give them 4 and 5 for the amount of impact that they had on the game. But SofaScore rating has given them 7.2 or 7 for Kai Havertz. But for me, they were just 4 or 5. I think the best player on the pitch was again Thomas Partey, who has been our best player on the pitch, even though we have been losing the games consistently, even being on right back. Yesterday he was in the centre mid position where Declan was not there. But I think he had a very good performance. He was the one who was dominating the ball, trying to make things tick for Arsenal. But all the other players, Mikel Merino, I think I'll just give him 3. I don't know what he's good at, and I think it's maybe a bit too early still, but we really need to start seeing some performance from him. He was brought in as a left-sided replacement for Grand Saka, where we thought that he would have a better and a bigger impact. He could be a ball-playing player, but I have not seen him playing any balls, any throughs till yet. And I hope he improves because Granit Saka was far better, if I have to say. Gabriel Martinelli, I think he had a better game from his previous ones. He was trying to make things happen. But again, when I say trying to make this happen, it was just the crosses, just simply putting in the crosses. Julian Timber, I think he had a good game. Gabriel Magalhaes, he was yellow carded, but I think he was trying to control Martinez throughout the game. William Saliba, he was decent. Ben White, decent. So I think I agree with that. David Raya, apart from the penalty, Inter Milan didn't threaten our goal that much, apart from the few scares early in the game. So I think he has a 6.5. I think that's pretty much okay. But I think we didn't, we, even though the stats shows it a bit differently, but if anybody has seen the game, they will know that Arsenal were not threatening at all. It was just about simple crosses that were coming in, hoping for somebody to just head it in. Now, this stat is amazing if you have a look at it. We have the final third phase where we try to control more of the game, but it was just we were clueless apart from bringing the balls in. Now, if you see the long balls, we had 30 long balls, 18 of them were successful. Crosses, we had 46 crosses. So you see the whole game Arsenal, the only thing that we are doing is putting in a cross, either from a corner, either from the wide players who were trying to triple pass in. They were not successful with it and just putting in the crosses. In terms of possession, we definitely had more of the possession, but it was of no use. We were not doing anything with it apart from putting the ball in ins. We had 63% possession, 1.8 to expected goal ratio, XG, big chances 3, total shots 20. Our keeper made 0 saves apart from the one that went in was penalty. The one that hit the other one was the when it hit the post, so that doesn't count. Fouls, we made 21 fouls to their 12. Their passes was 323 to our 507. Tackles was 18 to 12. Free kicks 18 to 11. Yellow cards 2 to 2, which was fairly distributed. So I don't know what you make of this particular possession game, but I think we were just clueless, absolutely clueless. And this is what I was trying to tell you initially, where we have lost 2-0 to Bournemouth, and we gave the reasoning that we have been red carded, it was unfair, and that's why we lost it. But we were already playing horrible in that game. Like just to blame it on the red card, it's like just like scapegoating it. Liverpool, we should have won that game if we played particularly well in the first half, but second half we just disappeared. We just ghosted out, and Liverpool took the advantage and they drew the game 2-2. Newcastle, if you remember, this is a fairly recent game, and you know my thoughts on Newcastle. We did not play anything in Newcastle. We looked as clueless as we looked in this game. Nothing was going on for us. It was again the long balls. We didn't had any cutting passes, any throughs that would have worked, and we lost that game. And now with in the Champions League, we have lost to Inter Milan in the same way and form. So since the international break, Arsenal have been in horrible form. Now, these are some of the interesting things that I saw yesterday on the social media, where Martin Keown stood up for Arsenal and he said, like, I thought the second half performance from Arsenal was way better than what I saw at Newcastle, which is true. They were trying to take control, trying to do something, but they were not able to penetrate Inter Milan at all. It was just about crosses, which I don't think has ever worked for Arsenal. I have to disagree and stand up for my team. I saw even in the second half, okay, they didn't put the ball in the back, but you can see Inter Milan players lying on their deck. It's 11 games now that Inter have gone unbeaten. It's very difficult place to come here at San Siro. Arsenal had 70% possession, 14 shots. I get it, but there was definitely a lot of fight from the team tonight. And I do agree that they did pull up their socks, tried to go for it in the second half, but not in the way that any Arsenal fan would have wanted. It was just with zero penetration. It was just like going forward, trying to attack trying to attack Inter Milan's defense, but just by putting in crosses. And Inter Milan team for the whole of the game, they looked pretty comfortable in dealing with the crosses that were coming in. And Italian teams are generally very good at defending crosses. So I don't know, like he's supporting Arsenal and standing up for the team, but I think the team had a bang average performance. Mikel Arteta, when he was asked, he said the team plays the way we played tonight here. We can go to Chelsea, we can win. You know my thoughts for that. The way the team is playing, it's going to be a horror show over the weekend, and that too we are playing away at Stamford Bridge. Now the second thing is what's missing is just that the final end product at the moment. The boxes today was decided by the boxes, which is the Champions League. Every decision in the box makes a difference. It's clear. He said, I'm proud of my players and the game we played, the level of domination that we had. With the amount of situations that we generated, we should have scored a couple of goals at least. And that's on us. But again, the way the team played, that was us tonight. And I don't know what where he says the amount of chances we created, we should have scored a couple goals. I don't think we created any chances apart from the one curler that Havertz hit, and there was one other set of play where there was a ball that was clear from the goal line. I don't think apart from that was also from a corner or I think from a cross. I think apart from that we didn't created any chance that any Arsenal player would think, oh my God, what a chance! This should have been taken. Even Kai Havertz, he took that chance out of the blue where he took a quick turn and tried to hit the curler. Apart from that, we didn't make any chance. Gabriel Jesus was dribbling. It was a no-show for him, even though he was there on the pitch. I don't think anybody created anything that where he talks about we created a couple of good chances where we could have scored. I don't think that. I don't think. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, but I definitely don't agree with that. I think the most honest thing that anybody said yesterday was from Thierry Henry, our Arsenal legend, our number 14, where he said, I don't know what we are going to do versus Chelsea. I'll be honest with you right now, they are not challenging for the league. The results are not good enough. And I completely agree. This is a plain, blunt point. We are not challenging for the league at all. We are in the mid table crisis where we are trying to make sure that we start scoring goals. We have not been scoring goals. Like we didn't score at Newcastle, we didn't score at Bournemouth away, Newcastle away, and now Inter Milan away. The only two goals in the last four games that we scored that was at home, and that too in the second half we disappeared. Miguel handed down Havertz regarding Kai. He has got a big cut. He needed to come off because he needed some stitches, but hopefully he's going to be okay for the weekend. And I hope everything is fine with him. It was not a good thing to see where Kai Havertz was injured and he was bleeding. So I hope he recovers for the weekend. But we do need a better striker in January if we have any chance of winning any silverware. I'm not just talking about the league. I think the league, mostly Arsenal are slowly but surely fading away from the league run. UCL, it's very difficult. There are a lot of big teams there which are in a better form than Arsenal. Now the only two cups are there, which is FA Cup and Carabao Cup, which are not easy as well. But we still, if we get a striker who is a prolific one, a proper number nine, I think we still have a chance to win some silverware. And I think it is important for Arteta to win something this year. Now, do let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What do you think about the game? What do you think Arsenal should change in the upcoming game versus Chelsea at the Stamford Bridge over the weekend? Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it among your friends. And do let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Until next time, thank you.